We are live. Hey, everybody. This is Shaneology. Well, let's put in some music here. Everybody has their opening music.
Hi, Shane.
This is Shaneology, guys. We've got a total of 0 watching. So
I like that. I like the music. Oomph, 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 oomph.
all right, guys. So today I got a different type of video that I'm doing. As you guys know me as the jokey joke guy, but today I decided to take a side on a walk on the dark side today, and probably do some this more regularly. And I got some friends here with me. I got Bert Kurtzer, aka Kermit the Frog, with me.
Hello, Shaney.
DBS.
Hi,
DBS on the
Shane.
drums. I got Fanaddicts of Film on the keyboards. and me on the mic. And today we're doing some paranormal discussions. Specifically, we are discussing UFOs and whether or not we believe in UFOs. But before we do that, you guys want to talk about some news? Anything you want to discuss? Because there is a couple of things to start off with. If you guys want to UFOs, but we could discuss, because there was some Snowdub. How's it going? You entered the chat. And Black Hat Cinephile, we knew you wouldn't let us down. Black Hat never lets us down.
He's the man.
Yeah,
he's the man. He's the guy. He's the guy behind the guy.
He's the most knowledgeable person I've met on the internet.
Yeah, he knows a lot about everything. He's got to come on our channel one.
Does Black Hat believe in UFOs?
He's like, who's Matt Damon play in the Irish film in Boston when he's smart?
You're talking about Good Will Hunting?
Yeah, he's good Black Cat Cinephile hunted.
I love my favorite part of that movie. Do you like apples?
Yeah.
I got her number. How do you like them apples?
That bitch loved apples.
That was such a great moment. Such a great scene.
You know what? Now that's definitely toxic male harassment and overconfidence that we don't need in the patriarchy.
If people can get out and support movies like Midway right now, then we can snuff that. We can smother that crap out and destroy it all. So that's my opinion.
We got a new band member, Megs.
Hey,
say
Megs.
hi.
Hello, everyone.
Megs plays you play the bass.
Meg.
I play who?
You're playing the bass. So you got DBS on the drums. I'm on the vocals. Fanatics Films on the keyboard.
Do I just dance sexy or?
No, you're the most important one. You got the cowbell.
You're the lead singer, right?
The cowbell.
Thank you. Thank you. I would be happy with groupie or cowbell.
Cowbell groupie.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the bass.
You're the bass. You're all about that bass.
Okay, the bass.
No
Okay.
trouble.
Does anybody know the name of Snowdub's new song? Should we shout that out? Snowdub has a new song out, right?
Oh, I don't. I should know this.
No Dub, shout out your song.
Bad sister.
What's your new tune? He has a new song out. Black Hat is saying something. I don't know if you want to read chats, Shaney. It's your show.
I am reading chats, but I guess maybe it's slow on mine because I'm not.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to handle? I can do that.
Sure, do that because I'm not seeing them. They're obviously not coming as fast on mine.
Black Hat says I'm rolling smokes and frying French fries at the moment. Nice.
I love this guy.
Then I need to dig through.
Well,
DVD
I'm glad
boxes.
that's the order because it'd be weird if you were rolling French fries and frying smokes.
So Black Hat Cinephile, do you put ketchup on your fries?
That's what we're here to discuss. Ketchup on fries. All right, guys. So let's discuss this paranormal stuff. And so I don't know how you guys all feel about this topic, but it's one of my secret passions, beloved things that I do on I love to just look up alien footage and ghosts and stuff. So I figured I want to dedicate some time to
one of your coolest videos, by the way, is when you and forgive me, your uncle, is it Uncle Billy? Your Uncle Billy were searching for Bigfoot. just in
Oh,
case it's a cool video Shinny made.
Yeah, I'm going to do more of those. I got to do more of those. We were looking for Bigfoot. That's what we want to do, more of that kind of stuff. And
That was
also
a
we
fun
did one with the what's that, Mandela effect? Have you guys heard of that?
Nelson Mandela?
Yeah, well, there's like a paranormal thing called the Mandela effect, whereas because it basically starts off with it's dubbed. Sorry, did you say no? I don't want to step on anybody. I'm not the best host, guys.
No, you said you were the Mandela effect. In my personal experience, has been just like Luke. I am your father. He says it. He didn't say that. He said, "No, I am your father." But everybody thinks. But everybody thinks he says, "Luke, I am your father." But no, he said, "No, I am your father." Anyway.
Well, the actual thing is basically comes down to is a long time ago, basically in the 80s, people believed that Nelson Mandela actually died in the 80s, where he, and a lot of people have that actual memory. And I'm one of those people that actually, when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I thought he died in the 80s, but it turns out he died much sooner than, not that long ago.
More recent.
But it's a shared memory. It's basically a shared sort of false memory that a lot of people have.
Did he die of AIDS?
No, well, he died. He did die. I think people thought he died in prison. I think that's the thing. And ever since, and this is something that we're talking thousands of people believe and share this belief that he died in the 80s in prison. So the fact that he's still alive is kind of a weird thing. And now the theory is that maybe the people with time travel are going back in time and changing things a la Terminator, and this is sort of like a residual memory that people have. Of some that's one theory. I don't know all the others.
Like the kind of like the butterfly effect, kind of, right?
Well,
like when they mess it up and it like causes a ripple that like ultimately changes like other things. Like
yes, exactly.
Butterfly effect.
Yeah, that's there's a lot of different people who have different theories on that.
The term.
Yeah. Is anyone here an X-Files fan? Is anybody an X-Files fan? So the most recent season, they had a whole episode on the Mandela effect.
Yes, they
did. It was a great episode. This whole last season was phenomenal. Probably some of the best X-Files I've ever seen. And
I haven't seen the new season.
You need to see it. Holy shit!
The old ones. I haven't caught up on the new ones.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's some of the best television I've ever seen. Anyway, sorry.
Black Hat Cinephile says he also remembers the news reports of Mandela dying in prison. So he's one of those that has that memory. And I also have that weird memory and it's a shared memory that a lot of people have. Just like you said, the same thing with Darth Vader. Here's another one from Star Wars, which is interesting. You notice that C-3PO has a silver leg. Most people don't remember him having a silver leg. I don't remember him having. I always thought he was completely gold, but if you look at, he has a silver damn leg, and go back and go look at pictures right now, you'll see he has a damn silver leg. And
is it just one of his legs?
One of his legs is silver.
You know what casino I went to? Silver Legacy.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna do that too, Megs, but you beat me to the drum roll.
That's weird.
Well, there's a bunch of those. Like, for instance, you guys remember Mirror, Mirror on the Wall?
Who is the furthest of them all?
Yeah, well, repeat that. What is the famous saying?
Who is the furthest of them all?
No, the whole thing. Say the whole thing.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the
Most
fairest of them all? Fairest?
Okay, now I want you guys to go online and look, and if you can Google that saying and see what comes up. This might blow your mind a little bit. If you guys can Google it, well, maybe I'll do it.
I'm
doing it right now. I'm doing it right now.
Mirror.
Because this is what got me sort of really into it. Because I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. I don't remember that at all.
Every morning, the evil queen.
Because I'm baffled by this one. This one got me. This one in C-3PO's leg. Because this is one that most people believe. She says, like, we're talking 90% believe she says this, but she doesn't actually say that. So we'll see what people.
So are we looking up because it's all. Whenever I looked it up, that's all it says. Who is the fairest of them?
Okay,
all?
I'm actually gonna pull up a YouTube video. Maybe we can do a YouTube video on it and see what happens. Yeah, basically what she says, I can paraphrase it. She never actually says mirror, mirror on the wall. She never says that. She says, "Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all?"
Okay.
That's funny.
But
That's
everybody misinterprets that, saying everyone.
There must have been like a song or something that came out that was like pop culture that said "mirror, mirror on the wall."
Right.
There's a whole bunch of these. They're really fun if you guys want to, it's like this is one of those topics that's just kind of mind-boggling because there's so many weird sort of things like this. It's just like the Berenstain Bears. What do you guys remember? Berenstain or Berenstain?
I always said when I was a kid, everybody else pronounced it Berenstain Bears when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's the proper pronunciation, but a lot of people remember.
That is the right pronunciation?
Yeah.
Berenstain?
I've never heard of what you guys are talking about.
It was a children's
It's
book.
it's just bear.
The Berenstain Bears is actually their proper pronunciation.
They're Jewish bears?
No, it's spelled funky.
But
Yeah.
people
We're the Berenstain Bears. How are you?
That's that one I never heard. I always heard Berenstain, but
They're bears. They're good with money.
Okay, how about Jiffy Peanut Butter? Do you know?
Yeah, I've heard of
Jiffy Pop.
No, Jiffy Peanut Butter. You guys know Jiffy Peanut Butter?
Yeah,
it's not. It's Jif. There is no such thing as Jif.
that's why I just said Jif.
Yeah, Jif.
Well, there's Jiffy Pop.
Yeah, I think that might be
what
the
people
confusion on that one. Yeah, there's a bunch of those. These are actually kind of fun, and there's a lot of people who've done like.
If you were gonna make one of those names for couple, and it was Jesse Milestone, it would be Jeffy.
Oh yeah, Jeffy Milestone. Jeffy Mile Shitters. But yeah, there's a lot of them. There's 007. There's someone in 007. I can't remember that one, but that was an interesting one.
He's not actually a white man.
Yeah, he was a black woman all along.
Damn it! Damn it!
We got it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, The Last Jedi had a bunch of Mandela effects because I don't ever remember Yoda being able to force lightning a ghost. Force lightning. That's a Mandela effect. I don't remember Luke being afraid of the Force. There's a lot of Mandela effects in that movie. But anyway, guys.
Yeah.
So let's see. Never heard of Bill Hicks till this is Black Hat Cinephiles saying I never heard of Bill Hicks till years after he was dead. I do remember all famous people he associated with, just not him. That's interesting because Bill Hicks is a comedian, stand-up comedian, and a lot of people think that Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. Did you ever hear that, Black Hat Cinephile? You guys know Alex Jones.
I can see that though. I can see the performance reason behind that.
Yeah, he looks like some people have put like his picture next to him, and it's the spitting image. They look exactly like. Although I think Alex Jones is a little more crazy though. He's a little insane.
I don't like Alex Jones because he thinks all frogs are gay.
All frogs are gay. Only some
frogs are not gay, Alex Jones. The frogs are not gay.
All frogs go to heaven.
So Megs, do you believe in UFOs?
I do, actually. I think it's hard to believe that with the universe that is so huge that we are the only thing out there. I think that's kind of hard to believe. I don't know what exactly, but there's got to be some, there's too many weird stuff that goes on out, in the skies.
Do you think they visited us though? Like that's an important, like being up there is one thing, but being here and
Whoa, Roswell, New Mexico, Area 51. Hello.
She knows her shit, guys. You guys better bone up.
Hello.
Cool.
People can't just make all of this stuff up. I mean, people do have very vivid imaginations, but it's got to spawn from something.
Well, that's what I've always said. I mean, like the amount of actual sightings, it's thousands and thousands. All it takes is for one to be true, for it to be a real thing, right? Just one has to be true. How about you, Bert? Kermit got abducted.
Oh
they're onto us, guys. They've been onto us all along.
We're like, hey,
listening.
we're like, hey, Bert, turn your camera on. He's like, okay, he turns it on. He's being like pulled out of his window by a UFO.
Help us! They're onto us. And it's Nelson Mandela. He's the one who took him out the window.
Whenever I think of Nelson Mandela, when anybody mentions his name, guess who I think of? Danny Glover, because there was a movie made about Mandela, and Danny Glover played him. And I saw that movie like several times when I was a kid, and that's burned into my brain. So I always think of Danny Glover playing Nelson Mandela.
But then he got too old for that shit.
Well, that was the movie was made in the 80s. So
how about you, DBS? What's your say vis-a-vis?
Yeah, I believe in UFOs. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of videos out there, and then you have like military pilots that have seen it firsthand, and I can't call them liars, So
Can I just say real quick? I'd like to see Jennifer Lawrence play Nelson Mandela in the film.
She can pull it off,
dude. She's like, don't put me in prison. You're X-Men. We're the X-Men, damn it! And then she's like getting taken away into prison in Africa.
She'd never wear makeup. She would refuse to put on the makeup, though. She's not a fan of that. So, last but not least, Ben, Fanatics of Film. You know why I put you last, right?
I think so. I mean, are you gonna ask me the question or okay?
Well, I'll ask you the question. Do you believe in UFOs?
I think the whole thing is fake. I think the whole thing's a fraud. Although I would really like to learn. Are you kidding? Like, I'm a huge X-Files fan. I love the idea, the concept of UFOs. I love the whole thing, and I would just die to like have that experience and like be able to know for sure and find out. But I don't even. Sorry, this is just really annoying. But I don't even I don't believe any of it's real. I think it's all fake. I think that any of these experiences people have are bullshit. I think that it's anything that I just don't. It's like I'll believe it when I see it. I just don't. It's like if UFOs were really here, we would probably have known. That's my opinion. I don't know. I think it's just all bullshit.
Government cover up, man.
And I've even seen that whole thing where it's like recently that Joe Rogan podcast is unbelievable. If anybody has seen that, I'm sorry, go ahead. Bert.
I haven't seen that, but I know what it is and I want to.
Forgive me, it's command. Does anyone know his name? Commander what? What's his name?
Yeah, we were actually looking it up, DBS. You and I were just watching it before we did this.
But the guy swears that he saw this thing and it was like they call it the Tic Tac. I think the whole thing is just a big thing to get people to buy Tic Tacs. I don't know. It's like because they keep insisting it's a Tic Tac, but it's like it's all funded by Tic Tacs, the Mint organization, the Mint company trying to get people to buy more Tic Tacs.
You know what I think is more of an indication of aliens is the internet, shit like that. Like, how did we come up with that?
Hang on. I gotta interject just for a second because Black Hat Cinephile he hit the caps, man. When you hit the caps, that means business. So
you can't see.
He hit the cap. So Alex Jones wrangles and misdirects the newly awake. I believe he is appointed that job. So he's a sheep herder, is what he says. Yeah, I do believe that he's a sheep herder. I agree with you on that. I never believed his shtick. I always thought he was. I do believe in conspiracies. I'm a conspiracy minded dude, but I thought that he's more of the he's like the guy who tries to that we are supposed to believe he's the crazy one. So we all associate. If we associate with him, we're all crazy. That's what I think.
What was that, Bert?
He sounds like he's Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Alex Jones. I think Alex Jones says a lot of truths. He pulls out a lot of stuff that's real, and he adds he peppers in a little bit of wackiness and to make it more entertaining. And unfortunately, the tiny bit of wackiness that he throws in there makes people not believe in him at all. But in my personal experience and my own research, 99% of what Alex Jones says is fucking real. And that's just been my experience with it. So anyway, but
what do you guys think on Alex Jones? DBS, Megs, what's your?
Who's Alex Jones? I might sound really stupid right now, but
Oh, it's okay. He's a heavy duty conspiracy theorist who screams and yells. And I think he was one of the first 9/11 inside jobbers. Isn't that what his claim to fame?
Okay. I don't
he-
know. I definitely believe there's conspiracies out there. I believe, but I don't, probably not all of them are true. So I don't know which ones he's barking up, but what's the main 9/11? I don't know. I was a little.
That's where he got started. He started off
Right.
that. I think he's the one who got that off the ground.
Yeah, Alex Jones. I like more Alex Jones memes than Alex Jones.
he knows it. He knows that all that does is create, because he's an actor. I mean, what did he start out on? He was like a he was like in the WWE, I think, at some point.
Oh, okay.
So he's like one of these guys who just
okay.
but then he does podcasting, and so he does
Okay. All right.
and
Okay.
he's one of the
I got the kind of.
But my issue with him has always been that he bounces around too much. See, if you actually care or you believe in something, right, and you talk about something that like really matters to you, then stick to that subject and let's solve that subject. If you could prove one. If you can prove one conspiracy theory, that's enough. Like a huge one, for instance, prove that one, and then the rest will follow. But he just bounces from one to the next to the next. 1 minute he's talking about 9/11, then he's talking about they're putting estrogen in our clothes, and then he's talking about everything under the sun. It's just they keep man, stay focused here.
But he considers himself more of a journalist, though. Like I would consider him more of a journalist. So it's a journalist's job just to expose that shit, and then let people decide for themselves, like, what can he actually do? I mean, he's got some guns and he lives in the woods. That's all he does.
That's nice. Megs.
That's all we can do.
The guy thinks that frogs are gay.
I don't like him.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Not my kind of guy.
And that's a real thing.
He's a frogist.
I don't like him.
He's definitely a frogophobe.
Mhm.
Then he's probably a megaphobe. And you know what? He's not our kind of people, Kermit. Not our kind of people.
I bet you he hates Skeletor. What a jerk.
Yeah, and that's not the kind of people that we want to have around. So
He doesn't like frags.
So let's get back to the UFO subject for a second. So basically the whole thing I wanted to do was we got to convince this guy on the corner of the keyboards, Ben, that. See, I think we're all game. Oh, Bert, we never got yours. What you believe in UFOs? Because you were gone when I asked the question. You went to see or something.
Yeah, you were gone. We thought you got taken
by Nelson Mandela.
It was a quick probe. I almost said quid pro. We're talking about the news.
So you believe visa? You yes or no?
Were you about to say vis-a-vis again? I like that. You sound like a very cultured person. No,
I pretend.
I do believe that there's some shit going on that we don't fully account for.
you're a believer?
I'm a believer. I think that shit. Can someone else explain to me how the internet works?
So
How does my cell phone work? And there was such
What is electricity?
there's just such jumps.
Blame the pyramids, man.
That too. I think that the pyramids have to do with aliens too. There's no way that primitive people, when they're building the pyramids, could maneuver and manipulate large blocks of whatever they built the pyramids with.
That is still yet to be explained.
Yeah, explain it, Ben. Come on. It's on you. No, I'm just kidding.
So because I'm a skeptic, so I have to find. I'm the guy who has to find all the. Yeah,
you're not necessarily.
No, I know it's fine.
Where's your science?
I'll tell you one thing I do know for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I do know for sure. 9/11 is weird, and there's a whole big crazy thing about it. I'm going to say one thing, and then we can let it go. I saw this amazing testimony of this firefighter who said, I heard these explosions, and he heard explosions down at the very bottom. These explosions occurred in the basement of the World Trade Center. So that being said, we don't know what the hell happened. The point is that this guy, I believe this guy. He really, he's like, hell no, there's no way they went down. So anyway,
So
Go on, guys. Go, Bert. You on?
No, so that's aliens, Ben? Is that what you're trying to say?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. That was just on my brain, and I had to get it out.
No, I've seen that. I've seen the 9/11 conspiracy videos. I mean, there's a famous one that's one of the first YouTube things I remember watching was the 9/11.
That was back when YouTube was free and you could say and do anything.
I mean, there's multiple videos of people that have been let out now where you can see people running around and you can hear explosions. You can actually hear explosions at the bottom of the World Trade Center. I mean, there are explosions going on at the bottom. Like this is, and then what is it? World Trade Center 7. That's the third building. The third building goes down.
Yeah,
I mean,
free fall speed in its own pocket. That's all I'll say on that.
Yeah, beyond anything else. Sorry.
Down free fall speed in its own pocket. That's 3 times. That's the first time in history that one building has done that just with fire alone. 3 buildings went down the same day, free fall speed in its own pocket.
Yeah, but why would World Trade Center 7 even go down? It's like the 2 buildings went down because planes hit them, right? That's what people say. But World Trade Center 7, which is the third building that was untouched by anything, that one went down.
So let's read some of these chats. Let's see what these guys say about 9/11.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Black Hat Cinephile said that ancient light bulbs were found in the pyramids. That makes me think too.
Well, I think they were found. I know what he's talking about. The filament and the filament. They actually have like cave drawings of a light bulb. Yeah, it looks really suspicious. And someone actually tried. I've seen an actual show try to make that light bulb, and it worked, which is interesting. And there's also saw tools and cutting. Like you can see power tools, drill marks and stuff in the actual stone in the pyramids, which is also really interesting to see how the hell did they like actual perfect cuts. Mistakes in the
That's cool.
Well, aren't the pyramids built at an angle that's like geometrically like perfect, which would be like super
true north? That's what they say it like is designed.
Have we talked about this before, or do I do too much drugs?
No, we did briefly at one of our last streams. We did briefly.
Wookiee supremacist says yes, tinfoil hat time, Sheeny. Yes, that's right. It is tinfoil hat.
Dude, I'm gonna make a tinfoil hat and wear it next time.
I love it. That's a tinfoil pipe.
No man, this see
tinfoil pipe. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm not like the funny part is everybody talks smack about conspiracies, and it's like the world is filled with conspiracies. We conspirize amongst ourselves, like just in our own family. And did you hear what Uncle Bert was trying to do with John? Like these everybody's doing shit all the time. We wouldn't think that higher ups are doing that, as well. Like with all the control. Like what is the Bilderberg meeting? Do you ever find it funny how if the G20 goes to your city, all hell breaks loose? There's always like cops and everyone's always rioting and shit, but the same group comes together for a secret meeting in some unknown location every single year. No journalists talk about it, and it's like and no one says a peep, and it's like we'll just pretend that never happened, guys. Bilderberg, you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, they were great.
Good.
I just put on my tinfoil hat so I could block
the aliens from infiltrating your mind.
It looks
block frequencies, trying to penetrate my brain there.
You look like you're touched by an angel.
Has anybody had an actual experience though with the paranormal? You live in Arizona, right? Oh shoot, I don't know if you.
I do. No, that's no. I openly say that all the time. Yeah,
okay, good.
I live in Arizona.
So I didn't want to like let
those were illegal aliens.
But Arizona is known for a lot of like UFO activity, right? It's really one of the hot spots.
Actually, I just heard that Sedona apparently is supposed to be like a big hot spot, and I'm actually not that far away from Sedona. Apparently,
have you seen anything?
No.
Remember I said Stormtrooper Babe? Remember that she used to live right next to in a trailer park right outside or trailer right outside Sedona. She has all kinds of stuff that she's told me that she's seen. She doesn't like sleeping at night there, but she does anyway.
Yeah.
The gun under her pillow, she says. That's gonna stop ET.
Like I would say that I've like seen more like spooky like spirit things and I have alien things. But
Please
not,
do
like,
tell, share with the group.
just like, I don't know, just creepy things that are like unexplainable. I don't know. I should have written them down and brainstormed because when I'm put on the spot, I can never think.
Okay, don't worry. We'll come back to you.
Kermit knows about it. Like when I'm put on the spot, I'm like,
Oh, I thought he knew about your experience. I thought Kermit knew about your experience, you guys. Kermit, you ever had anything
with legal aliens?
Yeah, legal.
all the time.
On the border. You've gone to the border and seen illegal aliens.
No, I've never had any experience with aliens, but I do believe they exist. You know? I see all the videos where you see the lights moving and stuff, and that could be fake. But I just don't believe that we're here alone. And I also think that I do believe too that a lot of our leaders are influenced. They're doing something fishy that they have some connections.
Well,
that makes.
I know that DBS you actually filed a report with MUFON, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually have a case number with MUFON. I saw some weird clouds on my way home from Vegas.
Like
Then I put that up on my other channel, on Mr. Record channel, and I had an investigator contact me. And the investigator came up with that she explained everything. The clouds.
That's your.
Was she a woman in black? Was she all wearing in black?
Yeah.
That's how you fucked up right there. You got a female investigator.
Yeah, I have
You saw nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I could share that. I could share that right now with you. I could go on.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Bring it up. Maybe we'll
bring it up.
I'm just joking. I'm not sexist.
Yeah, why it had to be a female? You're right.
I feel like I'm not trying to have a female doctor.
Ben, come on, anything, Ben? You have to.
So I found something that was actually kind of cool. It's interesting, and I think it's kind of funny. It's on the NSA website. Do you want me to? Can you?
Yeah. Bring it up, man.
Share screen. Application window. Wait, hold on, Chrome tab. I think this is it.
If they shut us down, we'll know why.
Can you guys see that? So, hold on. So I was supposed to, anyway, let's see if I can, hopefully it'll just pull up that. I had it up a second ago and it's just not, for some reason that's what she said. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Are you guys looking at that at all or not?
UFO documents index. NSA. CSS.
So, but are you seeing what I've just pulled up? Did you see the document I pulled up or not?
Yeah, we see documents, UFO documents index. Is that what we're supposed to be seeing?
Or part.
Well, there's a big redacted thing, and I'm trying to share it. It's just not letting me. I think it's not going to let me share it. That's weird. That's
interesting. Right away, we're being shut down by the man.
Conspiracy.
Another man trying to keep brown down and hold black back.
Get out of here.
I've actually seen one myself. What happened to Ben? Did he disappear? Oh, there he is. Ben disappeared.
Megs is having pussy problems.
Okay.
Well, what do you call it? Wookie says he saw one on October 30th of this year.
Is Wookiee Supremacy a new Wookiee name, or did he just?
I think he's Wookiee Lives Matter, right?
Yeah.
I thought I was looking at a planet until it flew faster than I've ever seen anything move in my life. Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw Ryan Johnson after he was fired today. He just saw a big old planet head move faster than I've seen any head planet move in my life. I had the exact same experience, though. I will say, my experience was pretty much like that. He's back, guys.
I'm back from my UFO.
Benjamin Johnson is.
That was a short abduction.
So I'm trying to share that.
Two abductions in one day.
I tried. Okay. So do you guys see this? To me, this is just BS. I think it's totally fake, but I don't know what you guys think. These are just UFO. What does it say there? It says, you know, the UFO's been moved. It looks just so fake. What does
Where
it
did
say
this
right
come
here? It
from?
says this was on the NSA website. This is from the NSA website. One UFO moved from 75 nautical miles east toward east and faded near. And then it's like everything's redacted like the movies. Oh, it's so cool. But it looks like to me it's like fake. To me it's probably some kind of distraction, some kind of thing to distract us. What does it say? Radar tracking or unidentified flying objects. UFO probably a balloon. You know, these are just like, it looks like these are, accounts of people of sightings, that's what it looks like to me. So
What I find is interesting is like when you say about the Roswell, New Mexico case, right? Which is one of the most popular cases that ever started, that started most of this. The fact that the military came out, admitted it, right? That was the first thing. They admitted it. They saw it. It was in the newspaper.
when did that happen?
Immediately
When was the admission of that? When did that actually take place?
1947. It was like the first day they came out, and the paper came out saying UFO was spotted. The military, I think they actually. Well, let me see if we can figure that out. But the military supposedly backed it up or claimed it was, and then the next day they held a press conference, and then they redacted it. Said no, it was just a weather balloon. It was a miss. It was
okay. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what this is. It's because
it was proven that it couldn't have been a weather balloon. First of all, they should the weather balloons don't fly.
Well, no, I know, I know that. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out that might be what this document is. Anyway.
No. Well, there's a lot of redacted documents and stuff from the because it's funny because remember the War of the Worlds thing? Do you guys remember that? Remember when you guys were all alive during the War of the Worlds?
Yes, that movie scared the shit out of me. Giving nightmares for weeks. The Tom Cruise edition, not the original, but the Tom Cruise edition. That was sound. Oh, nightmares forever.
You're not talking radio broadcast, right?
Yeah, one that came out, and then the world kind of that when it came out, everyone went nuts and started doing crazy shit, right? That I could see that being motivation for at least some of the cover up, being like, well, I don't, what the heck is going to happen if they actually did find out? People would go nuts and start jumping off buildings and burning things and looting. The world is like it's coming there. The ET is here. I could see a reason for why they would do that.
When the frogs take over, I'll let you guys live.
The frogs will inherit the earth.
The cyber.
Yes, the cyber logs. Cyber logs.
But is there any footage in particular that any of you guys find absolutely compelling that you guys have seen? Like something that is...
Shane, can I ask you, is this just pertaining to like aliens, or do people believe in monsters too?
What do you mean, monsters? What do you mean, like Loch Ness monsters?
Like chupacabra, vampires, werewolves?
Well, okay. I would say for me, I'm a believer in a lot of stuff. Chupacabra, I have an interesting theory on chupacabra. I believe that chupacabra is actually an American military creation. I used it during Vietnam, where they would create. They used genetic.
Sounds like a great film.
Well, I think they used genetic splicing to create a creature and send it into the caves in because in Vietnam, right? They had these like tunnels all over the place, and the Viet Cong had this. They had this like what they would describe as very similar to the exact same thing they discovered they would say happened to them was almost perfectly describes the chupacabra. And it was like a combination of this animal, and it would hunt them through just to see whether it was real or not. I don't know, but it was designed to scare them to not go under the tunnels. Now, the thing is, what I find is interesting is there's a military based in Costa Rica, a huge one that does this. And back in the day, and they also had Agent Orange, was manufactured in Costa Rica and was tested on the Costa Ricans, I believe. or Costa Rica or Puerto Rico. I can't remember. Puerto Rico, I think.
It doesn't matter.
And so what happened was, I think that they had this. They tested on the Puerto Ricans to see what, and that's where the chupacabra legend begins in Puerto Rico. And so I feel like whatever was going on in that military base, that because the whole town they hunted for that chupacabra. The mayor, they all did. They all believed it wholeheartedly, and then it just vanished, and then the legend grew from there. That's my theory on the chupacabra. I'll let you guys weigh
There it is. There it is, right there.
Well, like all cultures have their own like mythos of the vampire, chupacabra, werewolf type creature. Africa, like India, East Asia, the Americas, everybody does.
Yeah, Bigfoot's one that everybody has. That's another interesting one too. Hey, Lance Uppercut, how's it going? Welcome to our stream. We talk. Yes, I believe UFOs. Meow, go on to blue cheese dressing. I find a lot of these things interesting and compelling. I mean, I think I want to believe. You guys probably the same, right? We want to believe they're fun, no?
Till they come up and eat your face off.
Right up until then. Right up until
always the negative with you, man.
It's all fun and games until you get probed.
Right.
Until
they abduct your ass.
You get probed without consent.
No consent. Exactly.
That's a T-shirt right there waiting to be made, man. It's all fun and games until you get probed.
Yeah. I was thinking no probes without consent.
Yeah. Oh, that too. That's better. That one's better, actually, for sure.
Someone's been learning here with Kermit.
Thank you, man. No consent. Yeah. I've been. That's probably my new most used word is consent.
See, it's important. See, you guys want consent too when it comes to the probing. You guys don't want probing, right?
Yeah, we need proper consent when the aliens come down, stick their finger or their probe.
Yeah,
another reason.
Very important.
Yeah, I don't think the aliens stick their finger. They use something. They use a device. They know better than to stick their finger.
Other objects.
It's E. coli. They know.
They use rubber gloves. I mean, you assume rubber gloves.
They don't care about sanitation. I don't believe.
She knows for a fact.
Probably.
So Shani, I have a question for you. Since this most recent thing that's been happening, I think it was literally in the last 2 years, we've had the government actually finally admit full on that they've been, that there are UFOs, that they have evidence of it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Why do you think, now, like why after all these many years, now they're actually letting this stuff out, especially with this recent podcast with, Joe
Rogan?
The Joe Rogan cast. If you haven't, anybody who has not seen that, you need to see it. Especially for someone who's a skeptic like me, I don't believe any of it's real. Part of me is still a very think I've seen that podcast did sway me a little. I mean his testimony is pretty amazing. It's pretty stellar. I mean, he talks he's a very well educated pilot. The guy knows what he's talking about. He's very very well versed in everything. Knows specifics on details on how many. I think he was literally about a half a mile away from this thing that he saw, the Tic Tac and all that stuff. And
yeah, the fact that multiple reports too of that exact same ship, because there's been other people who, like, basically you're talking about the Nimitz case, which is I think what the USS Nimitz Air Base, I think it is, and they photographed. Basically, they couldn't actually see it with their eyes. Isn't that the case? Or they could only see it on the radar?
He saw it. He saw it with his own eyes, and they have video of it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I think it was another case where they only saw it on the thing. But yeah, no, and the way it behaved, and they couldn't keep up with it. But this is the second or third actual capsule, like pill shaped. That's what kind of gets me, is the different varieties that there are. There's like the cigar shaped, UFO. They got the boomerang, which used to be the Foo Fighters. You got the obviously the traditional, top or bell, and then the frisbee shape. But there's so many varieties. It's weird, right?
Yeah. Well, the way that they equate it to, or at least that I've heard it described as, like they're going to have many different types of vehicles, like we do, like cars. They're going to have a lot of different types of vehicles. They're going to have an SUV. They're going to have a sports car. They're going to have all these different styles and different types, maybe perhaps from different places or different worlds.
Lance Uppercut brought up something extremely interesting. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Black Knights satellite. You ever heard of that?
No.
We got to look up Google Black Knight satellite, because this will blow your minds. This is extremely interesting.
Black Knight as like K-I-N-I-G.
Yeah, the Black Knight satellite.
Black Knight satellite. Let's see. Google. It's just showing me a bunch of interracial porn.
Interracial?
X out of it.
Virus.
Is this it?
Yes.
That's it right there.
This is a satellite that's been in our atmosphere that nobody knows what it does, what it's doing. It actually broadcasts a low frequency, and it's been around since before modern civilization.
What?
Yeah,
how do you know that?
Well, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I don't know anything for sure.
When did they discover this?
I'm not sure. I mean, I saw a special on it, and maybe Lance Uppercut could tell us how more about this, but because he brought it up. But I knew about this as well, because I've seen about this.
I don't think that's real. I think it's fake.
You think everything is fake?
Sorry.
Do you think
Sorry.
I'm real?
Sorry, guys. I don't know. I don't think I'm actually here.
No, I'm just kidding. No,
I think you guys are all actually cardboard.
It's
The
great.
Matrix.
I think that everybody around me is cardboard.
It's all a dream.
But it's a fascinating thing, because it is. I don't know if it's confirmed or what, but I just do know that this is. They've talked. I've seen multiple documentaries about this, which was really it blew my mind when I saw them. But yeah, that pic might be fake.
That's a better photo.
I'm not sure.
I mean,
yeah, go on.
I don't know. Well, just recently, the official NASA photo of the Earth, that was the official photo of the Earth. That was NASA admitted that it was fake. You guys heard about that, right?
Well, I mean, it's all been composited pictures, isn't it? Like all the pictures of the Earth are just composites.
No, it was a painting, and everybody they were lying to everybody, saying this for the last 50 years that it was a photo and it was a painting. Wow. It wasn't real. This is something that's been exposed. NASA has been exposed for faking a lot of their stuff, man. There's so many videos of them pretending to be on a space station, and they've got green screens and they've got like harnesses on pretending to do this stuff. It's insane how much fake stuff there is out there, you guys.
I believe Stanley Kubrick filmed the moon landing.
Yeah, that's fake. Anyway, we don't need to get there. We don't need to go there. I just my opinion. Anyway, you guys need to check out some of those fake NASA videos. It's crazy. Well,
I mean, I've always I was always of the mind that most of the Mars rover landing photos are faked. Even like, because they was like, oh look, we found a hairbrush on Mars. Like what are you talking about? Why is there a hairbrush on Mars? And I feel like a lot of that has to do with trying to siphon funds. I think they're pretending to be on Mars so that they can use it for the black budget. So they just siphon that money to a different program, and then put on this nice film. And I've heard there's been proof, or some people have said that they film a lot of that stuff on the Baffin Island of Canada, like it's a really deserted island and stuff like. And I'm like, so they go there and they film it, and then they say, because a lot of this stuff is weird, because when there used to be a YouTuber that used to go and say, like, why do they doctor all the footage? Why is it they make the planet red, and when someone adjusts the color. You can feel it. It's like a normal color, like it's green and gray and dark, and they make the atmosphere red and a lot of stuff. So a lot of fakery is going on, and that's why a lot of people, it's like hard to to argue with people who say the world is flat. I mean, because you try to refute it, and then it's like, well, I don't know. I have to go around the world to know for sure, and then that's why if they would only sort of be more forthcoming with information and actually then maybe people would believe more what the hell they say, but they're so shrouded in secrecy. But yeah, what do you guys think? Earth is round. I'm a round earther. I'm just throwing devil's advocate out there.
I've watched enough videos that I believe that we don't really have satellites in the air. The satellites that are supposedly up there in space, they're all fake. Like they're on balloons. The satellites that help us with the internet, with broadcasting, satellite, whatever, any information that travels via satellite is done on a satellite that's in low orbit that's being held up on a balloon. I don't think there's real satellites in space.
How does the balloon stay lit though and stay up there?
I'm not sure, but we'd have to. Yeah, it's one of those things where you have to do some. I would have to do some more research, but I've seen some videos where people are NASA's exposed for a lot of things, and we give them $60 million a day.
Yeah, that's the thing about that. That's what that's my whole thing is that, like, what there's that whole thing on this black budget that America just has money just disappear, billions of dollars that just go vanish into thin air, and a lot of people thought 9/11. What the hell is that? That like, you ever heard about one of the reasons as to why they said that 9/11 could have been an inside job? One of the reasons was that the part of the Pentagon that was hit just happened to be the part that I think kept the records of of the money or something, or of the debt. And then I think that Dick Cheney had just announced, or Donald Rumsfeld had announced, that there was $2 billion worth of debt that was accrued, and they don't know what happened to it. Just $2 billion just vanished, and then all of a sudden, that part of the Pentagon where it kept those records just happened to be hit by a plane, and everything just magically disappeared. All those records. So there's a lot of, there's a lot. Who knows, man? That's, like I said, tinfoil hat time, right? But what I'm going to show you guys some footage. Hold on, let's see if I can get this, because I had this prepared. So let me get to show you. Oh, that's the screen.
Some of these are pretty cool. These are, I mean, I do like the videos from the planes. They're pretty sweet.
Which ones?
Well, just the videos that are being shared from planes, like this one that I have highlighted there on the right.
Okay, I want to show you guys. I had this thing kind of planned out, so let's see what's going on here. So this is NASA. This is the stuff that gets me going, because this is actual NASA footage from space. That even when you listen to the actual reports, because I watched all of these and I actually listened to them talking, and they use a lot of code, and they're always asking, what is this? They don't know. They ask the central control, what are these things, and they never know. And they use different code words, and then they always cut and then come back when something like this happens. So I'll just play this little video here. Why are you not playing? Play. Can you guys see it? Is it too?
I just can't hear anything, but I can see it.
The volume off because the.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's one of those like loud music stuff, like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So this is the space shuttle.
Yeah, SCS space shuttle missions.
And where are they? Supposedly.
They're in space. I don't know. What do you?
Where are they allegedly?
No locations. I just know they're these are multiple different parts. So different like compilation of things they've caught. And like you see that thing that just shot. Like where's it? Usually things shoot down. They don't shoot up. Like look at these things. It just stops. Like why is it just stops? The Earth is rotating. You can see it's over the clouds. See that? And then another one comes here. What are these things? Now, I've actually heard the broadcasting of this, and they do talk about this while they're doing the broadcast. I don't have that footage with me. But these ones I find extremely interesting and compelling, because I'm like, what is, like, look at how many there are. It's just crazy. If you're gonna fake it, right, you'd fake one or two. You're not faking a zillion. It just doesn't make sense. Look, see that one? It just took a turn.
That's pretty awesome.
I mean, I know we can't really see what it is, right? Because we don't really understand it. But like when you listen to the actual broadcast, because I spent a lot of time watching these things, and this is the one thing that always like look at that. Just something that gets shot from Earth. Boom. That's an up close. Like, look, did you see that blast come straight out of the Earth, and then the thing shot the opposite direction? Which is an interesting thing. What is that? We have weapons that can shoot. So what do you guys think of these footage? Does this make you a believer yet? See, I think we've been to space. I do believe in satellites. I mean, but I just don't think that I don't know about the moon. I'm still debating.
Yeah, that's all fake.
The moon?
Yeah. But we don't need to get into that. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to
get into anything you want. Just say get into all this stuff.
I mean, to me personally, this could easily have been manufactured. It looks awesome. It looks great. It looks exciting and fun, and I'm blown away by it. But it looks like I think it's fake.
Well,
I mean, unless they actually were able to put a camera in space. This is supposed to be a camera from the space shuttle. Is that what this is?
Yeah, space station, the SDS space station,
the space station, the space station that we have.
A few different things combined.
Okay, well, I'll get behind this. I believe it. Then I'll believe this.
I don't believe it.
You don't buy this?
No, it looks like I make that with like a piece of black cardboard and some light and a flashlight.
Yeah.
It looks like a teenage girl's room.
Yeah, and a little bit of like just a little bit of shooting semen.
But there's actually an audio that goes along with these where you can actually. Well, I mean, I guess they can fake the audio as well.
It's real. It's real. It's real.
When they first supposedly went into space, did you guys? Oh, you guys need to. It would take me a minute to find it, but there's a video where it's obvious, like a piece of cardboard in front, and they were trying to make us believe they were going in space way before they actually went. So it's funny. I think it was like literally. It looks like that. It looks like someone's bedroom has lights on it and they're shining, and it's like, hey, look at us, we're in space. It's like they've been. It's like, oh my god.
Do you guys remember this film with Robert De Niro, and it's like a dark comedy about America faking a war?
Wag the Dog.
Wag the Dog. You could totally see a Wag the Dog version of the film, but with aliens, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Dustin Hoffman's in that too. Dustin Hoffman plays the producer who produces the war. He's the producer of the war.
Yeah, and like that's what they allege happened with what's his name who made the film we're about to go watch tomorrow. Maybe if I get to The Shining, Stanley Kubrick. Right?
The Dr. Sleep.
Don't they allege Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing?
Yeah, that whole thing. I mean, there are moon jokes in The Shining. Yeah. Did you guys see that? Did you guys notice that?
Yes. I saw a documentary on all the hidden secret messages that he played.
Did you guys know that? Megs, did you know that?
I'm having trouble hearing you. What's in The Shining? The moon? What?
Women go to the moon.
Can you hear me?
I know, but Kermit's kind of muffled. The moon. Something about the moon. The moon. What about the moon? In The Shining, what? So
what we were talking about was Stanley. A lot of people believe, and I believe them right along with them, that Stanley Kubrick was the one who produced the moon landing. He made the moon landing. Like all the footage that we see of the moon landing is, produced in a studio, etc.
Right.
And Stanley Kubrick had just barely made The Shining, and in that movie, there's a lot of references to the moon landing. Forgive me, the number of the hotel room. There's the kid who Ewan McGregor is playing in Dr. Sleep. What's his name again? I'm sorry.
Danny.
Danny, the little kid in that movie, he's got a Apollo 11. I think it's Apollo 11
The
shirt
plane.
on. So it's anyway. That whole thing is just really it's really funny to see how Stanley Kubrick was just kind of making all these moon jokes in that movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get you. It's clicking now. Sorry.
Oh no, it's there's a lot of stuff going on there. I mean, what do you say, Shaney? Do you believe that the footage that we got on the moon was real? What do you think about that?
Well, okay, I don't. My thing is this. I think that they faked part of the moon landing. I think they faked because here's if you ever watched, there is a documentary. It was on CBC and they did some interest. It was a really, really great documentary called The Dark Side of the Moon. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Like they talked about how if you guys haven't seen it, they talked about how the biggest thing was proving that they went to the moon, and that was one thing that they really wanted to. They were afraid that they wouldn't be able to broadcast from the moon, right? That they could go to the moon, but they couldn't broadcast from the moon, so no one would believe them that they went to the moon. So their Tricky Dicky, I think at the time, said that what they were going to do is fake. So they called up Stanley Kubrick, said, we're going to have to fake the moon landing because we can't. What's the point in going up there if we can't actually broadcast live from there? Because they had a hard time with it. So what they said was that, so they contacted Kubrick and said, well, you're going to have to, at least for a few sequences and stuff like that, fake it. And so that was their excuse for those footage, that footage. Now, whether or not that's the case, whether they actually went or not, I don't know. I do think that makes sense to me, though, that if they were to go, that would be sort of a little bit of a sticky wicket, Well, we can't really contact them. They're there, so believe us, but we don't know, right? But that's the thing. Now, but there's a lot of interesting stuff that you'd watch 1,000 of those videos of they've not been to the moon, and a lot of that just shake your head. Like, if the rocket fell, came to Earth, landed on the moon, why was there no sediment blown in the air? Why did it land so gently that there was no dirt, not a speck of dirt on the actual rover on the lander itself? Like, it was just not. There was so many. The shadows are all wrong. One of the moon, there was an image, I don't know if you saw this one, where one of the astronauts looked like he's being pulled up by the backpack. Like he falls and he's pulled up, yanked backwards, like pulled upwards.
There's images. There's actual footage. You can see the strings. You can see the wires.
Hey, Shaney, share the image I got on. I want to bring this up.
You can see the.
I'm gonna have to head out. I gotta.
Okay.
I got to get the kids up for school in the morning, but
thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate you.
Yeah. I'll talk conspiracies and aliens and supernatural with you guys any day. So
great. Glad to have you next time.
Continue on with the good cause and turn this guy down below into a believer. You better keep working on him. All right.
We shall. Thank you.
Everyone in the chat, have a great night.
Good night.
Subscribe to Megs if you haven't already subscribed.
Have a good one, Megs.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. Bye, Kermit. Wherever you are. Hope you're not abducted.
I'm good.
Okay, Shaney, see this? The flag?
Yes.
That's one of the things they brought up, that the flag looks like the wind's blowing, but there's no wind on the moon. So
yeah, there's a lot of weird. Like I've heard people talk about that wind, saying, "Oh, it's some form of spatial wind or atmosphere wind." I don't know what the hell that is.
Well, then how does it stay up that way?
Because it's got a wire or something holding it. I guess it looks that way.
Like without wind, wouldn't the flag just be like straight down?
I mean, you're totally calling it. Like, it looks to me like there's a piece of wire holding the flag up, so that it will remain upright. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Like, dude, it's all, the whole thing is fake.
Let me read some of these chats here. So Black Hat Cinema File says, hold on, let me go up. I think I missed a few things here. Let's see here. Fun physics, you don't. So Land Sepulchre says fun physics facts, you don't feel speed. Black Hat Cinephile. if they're actually in the atmosphere, those things would be consistent with my theory of what the stars really are. Lance Uppercuts says, go on. Black Hat identifies the watchers who watch us like TV. That's an interesting one. Kind of like, what's that movie with Jim Carrey?
You're talking about the Truman Show?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Lance Uppercuts said, look for the Greenland craters. You can look up Greenland craters. What else? I don't believe in the space station. I do believe in balloons in the atmosphere, though. Black Hat
Me too. Me
Lance
too.
Uppercuts says, gases, man, gases. I think he was talking about Kermit using the washroom at the time. Just kidding.
What was he talking?
Kermit in the washroom. Gases, man. Gas. Just kidding, bud. Black Hat Cinephile Ron Howard said that Clint watched Kubrick. Ron Howard said that Clint watched Kubrick film the moon stuff, and it's what made Ron want to make space movies.
Is he talking about he and Clint Eastwood? Ron Howard and Clint Eastwood watched Kubrick film the moon stuff, and that's what made Ron want to make space movies? That's funny.
That's interesting. I think Ron Howard's brother's an alien. Have you guys ever seen his brother?
Yeah.
I haven't. Let's pull him up. I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he's in the
He made his debut as a child in Star Trek. Remember that?
Yeah, dude, he was in the Andy Griffith Show as a kid. His brother.
Is it Clint Howard? Is that his name? Clint?
Yeah, dude. Like,
they used him in a Twilight Zone episode, I think.
Yeah.
He looks so weird.
Cunt face Howard.
He is an alien. He's a hybrid.
Do you want me to share the screen or not?
Sure. Go ahead.
It's
that's the wrong one.
I've just never seen him before. He kind of does. That's crazy. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Are you sharing my screen now? Okay.
Yeah, Clint Howard. He meant Clint Howard, not Clint Eastwood. I've seen the moon landing. It was faked.
He looks like that's what I've been doing, but I don't know what the hell.
What's going on?
Hold on. I'm trying to get rid of. I have like 8 windows up, but I'm trying to get rid of some of them. Sorry, guys.
We forgive you.
Anyway, that's kind of a crazy thing. So what do you think, Bert? Do you think that because a lot of people think that. I've talked to so many people who think that the moon landing was like a hybrid where they kind of went, but then had to fake some of it. That's what Shaney was saying. And that's what it sounds like to me. Like, I mean, I've talked to a lot of people recently about this, and that's what a lot of people are saying.
I think the biggest part that, like if you're a detective and you're trying to solve this case, what's the motive? Competing against the Russians, is what I would assume. Yeah. And trying to save face and look good. Like that's one of man's, is it ids or what's the thing that's like wrong with man? That's definitely what it is.
But there's actually been some Russian people that have actually come out saying that they were faking it too.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt. I mean, I think we just beat them to faking it.
You faked it better.
Yeah, we faked it first.
You faked it better than they did.
We have better production value.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you got Kubrick. No wonder, like 2001 Space Odyssey. Come on, man. Who else are you going to ask at that time to fake the moon landing? Go on.
Absolutely, you're right. What makes more sense? That makes sense. That what you're saying makes sense.
Hey, Shane, you want to share my video real quick? I'll just go through it real quick.
Yeah, man. Oh, again, that's the wrong one. Which one is yours? I don't see it. It's not up here.
It says DBS screen.
There it is.
There it is. Okay. So, like I said, I was driving home from Vegas after New Year's, and I'm on the I-15 going through the Cajon Pass. And then I see these weird cloud formations. That one looks like a ice cream soft serve swirl.
Mm-hmm. That one's an interesting one, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's sort of flat underneath. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Is this video or are these? Oh, these are all stills. Okay.
These are pictures I took while I'm
right.
You're driving at the same time as taking these pictures.
My wife was taking these pictures. I told her, take pictures. And then I see a face come out. It's weird. I got pictures of it. See the to the
that's
side of
wild.
the swirl?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
There's
And then I zoom in on it. Hold on, it's going.
Oh, I can see the face.
Okay, I'm gonna zoom in on it. Well, it's gonna zoom in on its own.
That is a face. That's Mother Teresa.
This is a Rorschach test. I see like Chewbacca.
Okay, you see that? You see the two eyes? You see like a
Dude, it actually really looks like you know what it looks like? It looks like the ghost in the library in Ghostbusters.
I was gonna say it looks like an emoji. It was like God's emoji. He just emojied you. He gave you a nice emoji smile.
It looks like, to me, it looks like Wolverine when he protected the guy from the nuclear bomb.
Nice. Yeah, I can see that. Or Elizabeth Warren. Definitely Elizabeth Warren.
Then you see this like Elizabeth Warren for President 2020.
And you know what's weird? That those clouds were up there, and I turned my head for a second. I look back and it's all gone, and then this is there, in the same spot.
What is that though? That looks like God jizz.
Jizz.
And then
God is jizz.
let's see if I'm gonna show you the email of the MUFON investigator. Let me pull that up.
MoFon. I'm looking up. You guys ever watched Secure Team? I don't know if you guys ever seen that.
I have. Yeah, I have.
He has. I'm gonna see. He's got something on his channel that he does once in a while. He talks about how he believes the moon is fake in itself, and I want to see.
A lot. He believes. Does he believe it? Does he believe it's like a machine?
Yes.
Because I remember. I think I remember seeing in videos that a lot of people see this. A lot of people pull up these photos recently, talking about that it looks like there are structures there and stuff like that.
It's the hollow Earth theory. So I'm gonna play his video on it and see what he says. Maybe we could watch a bit of it. But yeah.
Yeah, you could, when you're ready, you could pull up the email from the MUFON investigator. We went back and forth. I showed her all the pictures and exact location where I was driving. She just said that you know how the clouds, I interpreted the clouds like the face and the swirl, all that is just like a Rorschach, like just whatever I interpret the clouds to be. And then she said something about the wind, the temperature of the wind hitting against the mountains over there by Wrightwood causes an effect, some shit. And then that some plane out of Ontario International Airport flew by and did that contrail. So that was her explanation for everything I saw. But I have a case number though.
That's pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing. That's an amazing thing to see, man. I wish you got video of it. I wish you got caught the whole thing on video.
This was a while back, and we had the phones. Our old phones didn't have Android. It was just like like a BlackBerry, just old phones.
Well, that's cool. So how long ago was that? How long ago was that experience?
This happened. Shit, I gotta go. I think it's 2000. Let me go back to the other email. But my case number is 88847 MUFON. Actual case number. I gotta find.
That's pretty amazing, man. It's pretty amazing.
So I'm gonna. Are you?
Yeah, go ahead. All
right. So I've got the video, and I'm gonna share it just because this really blew my mind because he was proving like that the moon exists, but it shouldn't exist. Like not the way we're told it exists anyway. And this is what this his video is proving. I think this is the one. So hopefully this is. I have seen a UFO though.
Well, like the moon is this like a space, like a Death Star.
Here with Secure Team. So quick video here.
Sorry, go on. What were we saying?
So like the moon is a Death Star.
That's what a lot of people believe. A lot of people believe
it's hollow. I don't know.
A lot of people believe that it's hollow and that it's just like it's all made of metal or something.
Well, let's see what this guy says.
Let me just ask you a really quick question. You guys raise your hands. How many of you have heard of the hollow moon theory? Not the hollow earth, but the hollow moon. As in the moon being hollow inside. Well, if you haven't heard of this theory, I've posted videos and I've spoken about this in the past. But believe it or not, as crazy as that might sound, and I know it may sound crazy because a lot of us have been indoctrinated from birth, whether it be through science books in schools or the scientific data that we've been given online and on television. And it kind of goes back to this mantra that, well, if I see it on TV or I read it in a book, it must be true. But when it comes to the moon, appearances can be deceiving.
Have you seen this one, Ben?
I have not this exact one, but he's done many videos on this. But no, this is cool. This is cool. No, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is cool. I like it.
NASA once stated, quote, "It seems easier to explain the non-existence of the moon than its existence." Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself.
That's funny.
When you make a statement like that, it's got to be rooted in a lot of deep-seated information, something that you know. You don't just make an off-the-cuff comment like that unless you know certain things. So our moon is extremely fascinating. It's fascinated scientists for years. And many people believe that the moon is actually a possibly terraformed or an engineered piece of hardware or basically an artificial structure that's hollow on the inside. When the astronauts flew to the moon back during the Apollo missions, at one point, they slammed a satellite into the moon's surface. And according to one of the astronauts, that when this satellite hit, that the moon, quote, rang like a bell for hours after. It was almost as if this satellite hit a solid, hollow, metallic sphere where it created reverberations that lasted for hours after it hit.
Can you pause it for a second?
Yeah, man.
Does he cite what the situation was? Like what astronaut said this?
Actually, let's see.
That's fine. I mean, I was just curious. Does he refer?
Well, I heard it a little bit different. That they said they crashed a satellite into the moon, but I heard that the lander that they launched that, and then they let that crash into the moon, and they were doing like seismic activity, and that when it hit, it just kept shaking for a long time.
Yeah, that's what he was saying, like that it rings like a bell, because they say it's hollow. There's a lot of stuff.
But what situation is this? Is he referring to any specific mission? Does he say an astronaut's name? It's like you could just make that up and say that an astronaut said that.
I'd like to see
of course.
what China has to say about this, or other countries.
Say it again, Kerm. I'm sorry.
Is it hard to hear me what I'm saying? I'd like to see what China has to say about this.
Yeah. Since they recently landed a.
But would you believe anything they said either? Like, you can't trust your government, let alone trust China.
Exactly. But it'd be cool to see if. I mean, I wonder if they'd be on the same page. I don't know. Just two different sources would be
golden,
more scientific, right?
Well, it's funny because there was
the
only major like official, like government official that ever came out and really talked about UFOs openly and said that it exists is the one from Canada. Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about? He was a minister of defense.
They have a minister of defense in Canada.
Yeah. I think they got a couple of tugboats with some slingshots, some tugboats and some slingshots.
Yeah, some hug guns.
Well, we got hose people. We got some powerful hoses. That's why they're hosers. But yeah, no. Apparently, the minister of defense. Well, that's all we have is defense. We got no offense.
Right.
we got a solid D. We got no O. We got to get some better D, some better O. Anyway, yeah, I forgot his name. Paul Martin, not Paul Martin. Something I can't remember his name. Anyway, he's been at it. He talks a lot and goes on tours, saying that he's spoken to many officials in the U.S. About UFOs, and he's been outing for years. He's been outing it. Paul Hillier, that's his name, Paul Hillier. I can only remember my own stupid politicians because they're so forgettable. But yeah, check him out. He actually has been outing this stuff for a long time. Yeah, he goes into like some crazy detail about like the moon and its orbit and how it's too small and there's a lot of stuff about this that really is fascinating. I mean, you can't believe anything. See, that's the thing. Like Ben, you're right on the fact that you can't believe anything. Like to believe something is to say, well, I'm going to listen to what this person has to say, and I'm just going to throw my entire I guess the word believe is what I don't like. It's either you know or you don't know. To believe is just sort of to take a leap of faith, right?
Well, his story is a completely it's an amazing story, but it's like, who said that? It's like I just literally watched this whole documentary where what was his name? This guy went around and he, it's not a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. If you guys haven't seen that documentary, you need to see that. See that. It's called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. It's fucking hilarious and it exposed everything. But anyway, there's one that was made after that, and this guy goes to all the astronauts, gives them a Bible, and says, "Hey, just swear on a Bible that you went to the moon. That's all I want you to do." And no one would do it, man.
Well, didn't
one of them did it. One of them. But out of like 30 different people, nobody would do it. People threatened to punch him. Like they were just like, "Get out of my face." I think Lance Armstrong actually, not Lance Armstrong. Sorry, Neil Armstrong.
Armstrong went to the moon.
Sorry, no.
He lied.
Forever Strong, right? No. What's his? I want to say Buzz Aldrin hit him. Buzz Aldrin like punched him in the face.
Yeah, I
anyway, the point is that it's a hilarious story because none of these people would actually like one of the guys he convinces to do it, and then he's like, by punishment of treason I went to the moon, like, and then they were like, wait a second, punishment of treason, and then they pull their hand off. Like it's like, man, if they anyway, it's just all a lie. But for him to say this story, I want him an astronaut to claim it. So anyway, I just think it's all anyway. Ugh, sorry, guys.
Believe this dude, Ancient Aliens dude?
Yeah, I like that guy. I like his memes too.
I do too.
Oh, that guy.
You can get there with the hair, bro.
With the hair, oh yeah, with no gel.
Yeah, man.
So Blackout Cinefile, they're saying that they're saying something interesting here. They said that China's moon surface doesn't match NASA's description, and then Lance Apricot says Russia's also different as well. So is India. I don't know. I actually haven't looked into that. Do you guys know anything about that? What they've said, they've claimed about? Because I'm kind of don't know.
Can you repeat it? What was the claim again? Sorry.
Basically that China's moon surface doesn't match NASA's moon surface.
Yeah, completely. Yeah,
and,
well, it's
and Russia's as well as so does India. So apparently everybody has a different moon surface.
Wow, and so India got there as well recently?
I guess so.
Yeah, my thing is, it's like, if we actually went there in the first place, don't you think everybody else would have gotten there too by now? Like,
well, that's why the alien thing the stuff that I've kind of been hold down to was the fact that I've heard people say that the theory that I've heard was that that Richard C. Hoagland, I don't know if you know Richard C. Hoagland, he's talked a lot about this, that they did go to the moon, that they did fake a lot of the footage because what they found there they didn't want to repeat. They didn't want anyone to know about. That they've actually found bases, that they found a proof of alien life forms, and that that there's structures on the moon that are taller than buildings and down here, and that they didn't want to tell anybody. That was a big thing, and they were told by these, I guess, inhabitants of the moon, Amscray, you're not wanted here, never return, and that's one of the reasons they never returned. Which I find it interesting because what you pose a good question though. Why?
Hey, Shani, share my image real quick.
Why hasn't anyone returned? You know, which one is it now? Is that one? No, that's not the one. I keep putting the same one up.
There you go. Perfect match. Is it Ben? You need to listen to his voice and get his impression down, his mannerism and everything.
I will totally do that. I will totally do. And I have a suit that's not quite that color, but dude, okay. I don't think I've actually ever heard him speak, but I've seen that meme a million times.
I've watched the show.
Yeah, I watched.
So
it.
is he the host of the show?
Yeah. Him and Chitless. I think the guy named Chitless. That guy always used to go. I could do his impression. The other guy with the glasses. That's like his co-host. The guy who does that. He was like,
That would be great.
"Let's be alien technology. There's no other way." Like everything. It's like everything. Like we see that in the caves.
You know,
That
you sound like Ferris Bueller's friend.
Do you guys know of Nibiru? Lance asks. Yes, we know of Nibiru. That is the Sumerian texts by Zacharias Sitchin.
I like Sumeria.
Yes, I am very well versed in Nibiru. You say Nibiru and I say Nibiru. Yeah, do you guys know about what he's talking about with Nibiru?
No.
With what?
Nibiru.
Please enlighten us.
It's like a planet X. Basically, the Sumerians talked about and was like ancient Sumeria, where they talk about texts that they said there's a hidden planet somewhere in our solar system that we can't see because of the cycles don't line up with our view, so we can't actually see it. And every so often we're able to they get close enough to us to affect us. We can see them. Some people think it's going to collide with Earth, but it's supposedly the 12th. So if you count Pluto as a planet, right? It's what the 12th planet. But you've never heard of that? It's
a goddamn dog, and it's a planet. It's a goddamn dog. Sorry, go.
Hey, Pluto, you're a planet, didn't you know? You and Ryan Johnson.
I'll be right back, guys, in 1 second.
Yeah, no, that was interesting. I used to do a lot of research, a lot of stuff on the Sumerian texts because they talk about ancient civilization and that a lot of the gods that we were born with, or especially the Egyptian gods, came derived from Sumerian gods in some form, and it was just retold tales from ancient Sumeria. So
These Sumerians know a lot about alien stuff, huh?
They're called the Nephilim. That's what the Sumerians call them. It's like winged bird people. I think they come from the sky. That I think that's what they are, and they're giants. I think too. I'm not sure.
I wonder if they had telescopes they could see.
Well, they don't have to see. They're here. They have binoculars.
No, see, they know so much about alien stuff.
But there's. So they're interesting. I actually looked there's a lot of people who swear by the Nephilim that it's real and true. But I think only one person's ever. I think Zacharias Sitchin's the only one that's was ever capable of deciphering their texts. So I don't know if you can trust one person's.
So I need to watch what you have to forgive me. I'm not versed at all at what you're talking about. So what episode is that on? I'm gonna watch that.
I don't know any episode. Just look up Nephilim. It's it's a very popular topic. You can just YouTube that topic.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Because it's really interesting because a lot of people swear by that. A lot of people think that a lot of the like the Mayans and the Egyptians and those ancient cultures all was a derivative from this Nephilim. And
I think it's very possible that they came from a different place. I think that's extremely possible. Part of me just thinks that it's extremely difficult to get into space, and it's like I think that at some point maybe they may have come. But I mean, do you mind sharing my screen for a second?
Sure, bud.
So okay, there we go. So let me get to my screen here. And where did it go? I had it up. I had it pulled up, and I was gonna.
I pulled up something.
wrote
You
down
could
what
share my
German
screen too.
Sorry,
So you could share my screen too. I also pulled up something.
you could go both screens at the same time.
Well, no, I think just one at a time.
Okay.
Until when Ben finds his.
Which one's yours now? Is it this one? No, it's this
No,
one.
that's
Right?
yours. There, that's the one. Is that the one?
So
It says Nephilim. So
are you guys seeing? Are you guys at all? No, you're not watching what I'm pulling.
no,
up.
we were waiting for you.
Okay, no, that's cool.
Are you ready? I'll click off of this.
Okay, you ready, Ben?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, you're not ready yet. Back.
Oops.
We lost Ben.
Benjamin Johnson, please return to the
Please return to the office.
live stream.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys haven't heard of that before. That's pretty popular. I guess I spent a lot of time researching a lot of crazy stuff during my time. And not crazy stuff. I actually think it's really interesting. Go ahead, Bert. Sorry.
I was gone. What was it you were researching?
The Nephilim. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't.
It's the same thing we were saying with the Sumerians and the Sumerian texts. It's basically their version of I guess their gods. I believe they believe that we are creation. I think am I mistaken on that? Because it's been a long time.
It sounds like the theory from Prometheus.
Yeah, it's very similar to that actually. I think they were inspired by that because that we were actually the aliens, that we were genetically modified. I don't know. Beings, and I think Ben is a genetically modified. Look at him; he's frozen. Is that real? Is he actually frozen? You saw that? Like I was like, he's making that face for way too long. What's going on?
So something's going on with the Wi-Fi in Utah.
He just like froze, and we're just watching this, and he just had this seizure that we're all like.
I could see it on my other screen. I could see it on my other screen. So
you needed I felt like we need to get him an ambulance or something. He just froze.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was pretty. All right. So I've got it. I think I've got it available now. So you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Can you see it? Is it sharing?
Okay, I'll share. I shall share.
So do you guys see that? So this is the official NASA release. So after they were exposed for having a fake picture of Earth, they're fake, this was the real photo. And after it's been the official photo of Earth they've used for 50 freaking years, and everybody thought, oh, this is a photo of, this is a real photo, and they lied for so damn long. This is the official one that they released after it. Look what it says in the clouds.
What does it say? Yeah, it's got it says something.
Frog.
Lie? What does it say there?
Sex.
Yeah, it says sex.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, now I can see it. Sorry. Sex. Well, now we know that the aliens are into sex. That's good.
It just simply means that NASA's full of shit, you guys. I'm sorry, but they are full of shit.
Emerther aliens, thank you for joining our live stream.
It's so juvenile. That's like something I would do.
Well, it's just they're so full of shit, man. We give them 60 million. It's 60 million a day. A day they make $60 million.
Yeah, that's insane. Man, like you could pay off everybody's debt. I don't know. There's so much crazy.
60 million a day times 365.
That's how much they make, dude. And all they do is put out fake videos of them faking being in the fake.
What's 160 million times 60, right? Because it's crazy how much money they're spending.
It says government agency lies. No, I think you're being sarcastic.
Who?
What do you think Trump thinks about aliens?
I think he's going to build a wall. It's going to be a great wall. It's going to go around the earth so that we could keep the aliens out. I don't know. I would think that that would be, if I was president, that'd be the first thing I asked.
Well, he is. And that's what everybody apparently, according to this documentary I've seen, apparently that's what everyone goes in thinking. Every person who decides, yeah, I'm going to be president, the thing they think that they're going to do is find out about the aliens, but they are told, sorry, that's above your pay grade. It's like,
yeah,
apparently that's from what I,
well, it makes sense because there's a lot of turnover in that job, right? So it's like, you don't want to like entrust that to just anybody who goes like for 4 years and then leave.
Well, then how do you get that job? Then that's not a voted on job, then, right? So it's there must. Then if you're going to assume that that's true, then you also assume there's a secret cabal.
Oh, I do believe there's a damn secret cabal for sure. There's multiple secret cabals. That's the one. That's one thing I do believe 100%. You know what I always found funny? Just on a back to the conspiracy note for a second. It's just something that's hilarious because the Skull and Bones is a sort of not so secret society. We all know that the Skull and Bones exists, and we all know that there are presidents that belong to the Skull and Bones. We know that they are very.
Isn't Obama?
I'm not sure if Obama was, but I know Bush was, and Cheney is, and there's a lot of them. And when they ask these presidents, well, what do you guys do in this secret society? Well, we can't say what we do because it's a secret. And I'm like, well, then you can't be president, because that's how I would say. Like, how are you president and you have a secret agenda that you're admitting to? And I think, did we lose Ben? Is he still frozen?
Oh my gosh, no! I'm still here.
You're just you're frozen again.
He's hanging on every word.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Can you guys even see what I'm? Okay, I'm trying to share my screen, and it's not. I don't know what's going on there.
Like the happiest smile on your face, and it's just frozen.
Yeah, he was really into that conversation. He's just like, the aliens got him again with their.
Can you guys like? I'm trying to share my damn.
I can't see it here, so it's hard to.
Sorry, guys. I'm just still trying to learn the. I know that you're supposed to have 2 screens for this damn stuff. That's what you're supposed to do.
Do you hear about the the guy that, what was his name? Jackie? Is it Jackie Mason? Not Jackie Mason. The guy who did To the Moon, Alice. What the hell is that actor's name? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I can't remember
his name is.
Also
Smoking the Bandit.
No.
Share my screen, Shane. Share my screen, Shane.
Sure,
That's just to back up what you were saying.
Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, Jackie Gleason. There is a story that Jackie Gleason and Nixon were best friends. I don't know if you guys know that story. And then when they were golfing, Nixon who apparently is one of the few presidents who they believe has actual information on UFOs. One of the few presidents that got privy to that, and he apparently told him that they exist, that they're real, and they don't know what the hell to do about it. Like, they don't, like, the government is befuddled, bewildered, and they don't know, they don't have any control over it, and that's why they keep it a secret, because they pretty much, they don't have any real answers themselves. Like, they're just, they come and go and do what they want. I think that's the story. I mean, I see all these things for a long time ago, and it's just I have some memory of certain things. So take what I say.
It sounds like so many good ideas for short films or movies.
Sorry?
Sounds like great ideas for short film or movies.
Well, I'm telling you, you will believe everything I say, because I am not a crook and I never lie.
Nixon is the wrong person who want to tell who you're going to believe in anything at this point. It's all fake news. Aliens never existed. But I don't know. It's hard to see. The funny part is, I'm like you, Ben. I have this theory I've been kind of off and on with the alien thing too. I mean, I saw some shit. I did see a UFO with my own 2 eyes. I saw
where.
Believe it or not, it was right above my courtyard where my building is. I saw at first I thought it was a firework. It was just this big, bright, glowing thing just hovering in the sky. It was white. Now it was kind of low enough that it wasn't high in the sky, but it was just like sort of in the mid sky. And I looked at him like, oh, some douchebag is throwing fireworks, so around. I mean, whatever. It's just a firework, right? But it never made a noise, and it just hovered there. And I'm like, that thing's eventually going to pop or drop, but it never did. Just kept hovering. So I started looking. The next thing you know, it's almost as if it caught me staring. That's sort of and it's weird to say because that's sort of the impression I got, right? It's sort of like the minute I started really paying attention to it, it did this motion. It went zzz, zzz, and took off and gone. It did like a zigzag and then took off.
It did
Zero noise.
It did a crazy Ivan. It did a Zorro.
Yeah, it did like a zigzag and then took off. And I'm like, the hell was and I just was like, what the hell did I just see? I was just like, whoa.
How long ago was this?
A couple of years ago, man. How
long ago was this?
It was crazy. Are you trying to tell me that you saw a UFO? Great Scott. Yeah, I saw it. It was, and I still.
That's pretty wild.
The thing is like you see something like that, and the first thought was, did I actually see that? You know what I mean? Like you doubt your own eyes, you doubt what you saw, because I'm like, I didn't go around telling everyone, hey guys, I saw a UFO, because I'm like, what the. And I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was a helicopter. No noise, and helicopters don't zig around in the sky and take off with no sound. I'm like, maybe it was a firework, but I'm like, no, again, there was no sound. It hovered in the air, and then it went up, not down. And what firework hovers for that long and then, doesn't explode or go up? I'm like, what the hell could it be? And I eliminated everything, and I'm like, I don't know. It just was a UFO by definition, unidentified flying object. What made it? What could have made it? I have no bloody clue. And I've looked online too to see if other people saw it that day, and I'm not the only one apparently that saw it. So apparently other people had also seen it in our area. There's a lot of, believe it or not, Toronto actually has a lot of UFO sightings, and it freaked me out. And there's an actual base right beside where I live, an air base. Like an air, it's not really active, but there is a base there. So I don't know if it comes from there or what, but I do know that there is that. Again, who the hell knows? Maybe it's government tested plane flight. I don't know. I can't say. That's all I know is that it's not something that I've ever seen before. And so for us to sort of like say it's aliens, because you have to actually see an alien or something, I can't say for sure. That's why. It's weird. It's weird. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, it'd be interesting. It'd be different. But like I have seen something. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Bob Lazar said specifically the biggest crime of any of this, for anyone to not be, for NASA to be lying and all these things, but the biggest crime that he said, because do you guys know who I'm talking about? Bob Lazar?
Lazar, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very famous.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the documentary on Netflix, it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal documentary. It's amazing, and it's by the guy who did it is an awesome writer too. His monologues in between are pretty amazing too. He talks about he goes off on these tangents. It's really, really awesome. But anyway, he said specifically, and he said this also in the Joe Rogan podcast, because Joe Rogan recently had Bob Lazar on there as well. And so Bob Lazar is the reason why we even talk about Area 51. He's the reason why Area 51 is on the map. He is the reason why people think have all these UFO conspiracies, etc. Bob Lazar is the reason behind all of this stuff. He believes it's true. He believes it's real. He saw what he saw. He believes. His biggest thing was always constantly talking about how the biggest crime is having the technology that they had, because apparently this thing could do things that we are pretty much unfathomable to any aviation currently, or any aviation to the degree of what they had. But his point was that their crime is not allowing that technology to be used in the world. And so anyway, it's pretty
I
nuts.
didn't want to share that. Yeah, getting back to Shaney's story, I think it was fascinating. I think it's pretty cool. I have to Google that and try to. Do you remember the date when you saw that?
No, I wish I did, man. I don't remember it.
That would be
I think it was close to Christmas though. That I do remember. It was like closer to Christmas. And I was walking the dog at the time, and so yeah, it was weird because, and then after that day, I actually saw other things that like after that. Not like that though, but like very like when you start seeing stuff, you start getting suspicious. You start looking in the sky more, right? You start trying to see things. So I started seeing a few things that I thought were suspicious, and like I felt for a while very paranoid, like as if. And I'm sorry, I'm serious. Like I'm not. I felt like paranoid that they were watching me now because I'm like, they caught me seeing it. You know what I mean? So now I'm part of the.
You made it to the top of the probe list.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's exactly
for looking.
Dude,
For being curious.
Bro. You could write a screenplay about this if they were following you afterwards.
Yeah. With their finger, ET probe ass.
Yeah, you'd have to sleep in your stomach forever after that.
I had these weird markings. I woke up on my neck. I didn't know what it was from. And no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, well, like these. It does make you paranoid though, because you don't, I don't know, like you don't know what the hell it is. It's just a damn light for us also. But here's the thing: there was a guy, I think Lucas Serrata or something like that. He actually, he's a physicist who tried to figure out what these ships, how these ships fly and why they use that, they zigzag like that. Because he's saying that the reason why we don't hear them or anything is because they generate so much energy that they actually, and that's why they become luminescent, is because the energy that they actually generate, that they produce, it goes and it gets actually so bright at some point that our eyes can't produce. It's almost like a black hole. The energy is just so strong that our eyes can actually focus on it. But I think something like that, where they believe that he believes that it creates its own atmosphere, almost like its own gravity, and so a pocket of gravity that is its own gravity. So it's not even, it doesn't even, like, you know what I mean? It's just sort of on its own. That's why it moves in weird ways, because it's not subject to.
Yeah, they burn up a lot of element 115, what Bob Lazar said.
Yeah.
The Netflix.
It spins so fast too. Like I think it spins so fast that it generates its own gravitational field, and that's why you see some of the videos and they spin, like it spins. I that's sort of what, and then it apparently it bends space and time. Like you say, well, how does it travel from this point to that point? Well, it folds space and time. It folds space. You know what I mean? And almost like, you take a piece of paper and just fold it and you put a pencil through it. And so that's how it's almost like a wormhole, right? It creates its own wormhole. That's how it travels from great distances. That's what he can, like his theory. And I think that's interesting because, that's.
I mean, they went to his house. I mean, they basically, tore apart his house in that documentary.
Yeah, his business too. They went through all his files, his computers,
everything. It was insane. That's insane what happened there. That was really bizarre.
I believe him because, like, we wouldn't know Area 51 without him. That's one thing.
Yeah.
I think his only alternative, if he feared for his life, was to go public with it. And just and the fact that these guys have the records, they just sort of erased his history, because they said, oh, he never went to the school he said he went to, and his records were gone. And I feel like they just screwed her. They said, well, we're just going to make him out to look like a liar. It's you can't kill him because he went public. It'll be, turn him into a martyr for the cause. So we'll just have to, it's almost like what they do in The Simpsons. They threw beer on top of Homer and made him look like a drunk and threw him out on the street.
Well, it's crazy. Well, but it does make you wonder, because I mean, just recently they're coming out with this. The government is being kind of an open book, or at least they're pretending to be an open book about it. I think they're being fake about it, but that's just me. I think it's just bizarre that they're like letting everything out now and kind of allowing this to be a real big discussion all across the board. So anyway, it's crazy.
Maybe it's because we got woke. Maybe they were waiting for us to get woke. And the minute we got woke, they decided that we're worthy of joining the intergalactic space force. That you heard about that, right? There's this big intergalactic space. There's other theories that there's this giant. There's like a federation of planets that really does exist, and that Earth is actually not allowed to be part of it because of our warring evil ways, and that's why they won't reveal themselves until we straighten ourselves out.
That's a pretty cool thing. I like that. That's pretty cool. I would that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
I like the idea of that.
they hate Antifa too.
Say that again.
They hate Antifa also.
They're like, okay, guys, you guys can be in the Federation.
Yeah,
Just
you
want-
got to get rid of the transgenders, the Kardashians, and the Antifa.
Yes.
It's very interesting though. Like there's so much stuff. It's hard to like something's going on, right? And I'm with you in a way. Like a lot of times, I think a lot of it's just distraction. Like what is real, what is distraction, what is you know what I mean? What is bullshit? How much is this? Are they trying to fake just so that we looking the wrong like a magic trick? Don't look at what we're doing here. Just look at what we're doing here. You know, and think about this. Even let's just say that this is all military vehicles, right? That they've been hiding for what since. So basically, they've been hiding these vehicles since the 1940s. Then, right? They would have to been. Well, the Foo Fighters, I think, were in the 30s. So even goes beyond. They've been hiding it officially since the 1930s. So think about that, hiding it for this long. So we're here like a bunch of weirdos flying jets that take to get from one city to another 2-hour flight. And meanwhile, they got shit that can go somewhere in like seconds. They've been hiding it for this long, not making. Does that seem like capitalism to you, that they wouldn't actually try and profit off? I can understand hiding it for a little bit, but for this long, 40 years more,
time's subjective, and I think about it like this, like how much technology has expanded and exploded in the last 100 years, 70 years, since the plane, television, radio.
It's like nothing of consequence. If you
radio, television, the internet, aviation.
Well, all these things are just sort of distraction technologies, but not progressive, like helpful.
The internet is.
They're still running on. Listen, your car still drives on the same engine that the Model T Ford drove. Technically,
Sure.
Well, Cheney, I have something for you. Like I have a '66 Plymouth. And I also have a 2015 Altima, and burns the same amount of gas. I put the same amount of gas and go to work and back and forth, and it's the same shit, the same mileage.
Yeah, it's
66 to 2015. It's like it's supposed to be a fuel injected and all this stuff, and it's still burning the same amount of gas.
Yeah, like what we were promised the Jetsons. Remember the Jetsons with the flying cars, and it turns into a suitcase and shit.
Well, isn't that the drones and the internet?
Well, the drones are like remote control cars in the sky. They're not taking us to work and turning into suitcases. We don't have robot butlers the way we were. I mean, yeah, we have some Roomba, but we don't have actual robot butlers. What I'm trying to say is our technology. While yes, cell phones are impressive. Talking phones and the internet's all impressive stuff, but it's all distraction. It's all distracted technology, but there's nothing that has enriched our lives, made our lives any better than we did, say, in the 80s, right? Like, think about it. That's 20 years, 30 years. Do we have one technology that you can point to and say, now we can take the train from Canada to let's say Toronto to
yeah, I think it's the internet, man. I mean, look how we're having communicating now.
But like I said, this is I'm not trying to take anything away from the internet. It's an awesome accomplishment, but there's got to be more than this, right? I mean, we're just talking about how many years, and we're just talking about cell phones and internet. That's all we have.
I just saw the thing where you seen the cloaking device now?
Oh yeah, the one that the Canadian scientist
Is
invented.
that a Canadian sign? But just imagine though what the actual army has capabilities with that. Like
Oh, they probably have some insane stuff.
we get everything that we get is usually from army R&R.
Right.
Yeah, it's like how many years behind? 60 years
R&D,
behind or something?
R&D, sorry.
So who has a cloaking? You said
Canada, the Canadian scientist, I forgot his name. He invented a cloaking device. It's pretty cool. It's sort of rudimentary. It's nothing that you can use practically at the moment, but
that's pretty amazing.
yeah. So if Wayne Gretzky appears in your house, you'll know why. But yeah, it's I don't know. You guys looking for that? Because I actually was
Called the Rape Kit 2000.
I've got it right here. I mean, I've been pulling them up as
That's
we're talking
not the
about
one
them.
that I've seen.
No, what did you say?
One I've seen looks like a shield almost that somebody's holding, and then you can't. It looks like
yeah.
It still looks like there's lines between what you're looking at and the rest of the wall, but it looks like it. But like you said, Shane said, it's rudimentary. It's not it's more along the lines of a shield version of the Harry Potter cloak.
Yeah. It's like a glass shield.
I think I found it. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to look. Which one?
I think I found it. There's this one right here. It says Canadian camouflage.
The second one on the bottom right. The first four on the left is the bottom one on the right. If that makes sense. No, it's off.
I think I know what you're talking. I think I know.
Right there, the bottom one with the guy with the red. Yeah, Canada.
Oh wow, it's pretty cool.
Well, there's actually looks better than that even that image is showing. It's
Yeah, that's a bad one. That one looks weird. It looks like his butt. That's his butt.
Yeah. But it's weird if we've got that. Even think about aliens, right? I mean, back to the aliens talk, but like they must have something way better than that. They could just disappear if we got that.
Obviously, that must be what I assume is like on the bottom of what's the famous plane that we have, the stealth bomber, right? Wouldn't you assume something similar like that?
Well, the stealth is only invisible on radar, right? And it's not invisible to the eye.
Well, then wouldn't you assume we have? Well, then why wouldn't we have that on planes?
Well, I'm not saying we don't, but I think it would be more practical to put that on a drone at this point, for infiltration.
Yeah. Well, shit, I don't see why you even have a plane anymore with a pilot instead of just having a drone.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just probably to keep pilot,
You guys watch Jack Ryan, the show?
Well, Black Hat Senator said Spider-Man Homecoming had an invisible plane. Well, so did the X-Men, right? Didn't their plane also cloak? And same thing with
exactly.
Yeah, they all cloaked. I do believe it exists. I mean, I think this is old technology. I think a lot of this is old technology. I think you're right. I think that's what I'm saying. Like they're not releasing the good stuff. I know that they even invented a flying car, which again was Canadian. Canadian invented a flying hover car. I don't know if you guys remember that. Back in not that long ago, there was people that thought that was going to be.
Was it quiet? Was it quiet or was it loud?
It was loud, man. It was loud. It wasn't very efficient. It would look like a car with wings, and the wings would fold. So it would unfold, and then the turbine jets would turn this way, and then it was almost like a Harrier and go straight up in the air, and then you could fly. And it was light, like it was extremely light, but it was like an actual car. Let's see if we can find that. And it was another Canadian inventor. We invent a lot of things nobody gives a shit about.
That's pretty cool. Whatever that is.
I'm not sure if that's the one. I think that might be the one.
It's a flying car. There's some crazy stuff out there now.
It actually flew. It was, and they were gonna manufacture it, but I guess I don't know what happened. They just never did. I don't know. They were talking about it for a while. It was like, oh, we're gonna do this, but then you got that maglev train, the one that's supposed to go fast on the rail because it's magnetized, and that no one has that. Oh, you see this thing here? Scroll down a little. That little disc here.
Which one?
Go down, just scroll down or up just a bit.
Okay, I'll go up, I guess.
UFO. This is a
That guy?
UFO thing. Yeah. Click on that. See. This is, what does it say? Avro, Canada, right?
Yeah.
This is I knew this for the longest time. So they've been America, United States. I forgot what year this was. I think 80s or something. They Avro, no, before the 80s, because I think it might have been the 60s. The U.S. government and Canada were secretly working on hover technology, this kind of technology, and this was in that Downsview base, because right by that base I said that's beside my house. That's where it was made. This ship.
Wow.
Constructed, and they use this on a lot of documentaries. And it hovers. It was a joint Canadian American venture.
Looks pretty cool.
And it hovered. It actually hovered. It was almost. It actually flew like. Well, it didn't get too high. It actually flew like the speeder in Star Wars. Like it just hovered of the ground on a blanket of air. So you can actually see. There's actual footage of it, and it was right beside my house.
Why couldn't we just make though now like a 60-foot drone? 150-foot drone. I mean,
probably do have them. We could do, what would be the need?
They sell drones at Kmart right here. Like, come on, they got to have like the cloaked ones too.
Well, I think that would be freaking awesome. Like to see like a cloaking, one of these things, like. Flying around, people flying around.
Black Hat Citadel says, I believe the reason we don't have flying cars is because the average driver is incapable of flying a car. Black Hat, I'm going to tell you, the average driver isn't capable of driving a car.
For sure. Hey, would a cloaked drone be a clone?
A cloaked drone, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's probably the next thing, and and I guess I think I did want to expand on what you were asking about, Bert, because I think that they probably haven't made something that big because they don't need to have, because if you can control it from a safe distance and just from some bunker somewhere, then why put a person in there? Why risk the person's life?
Well, yeah, I'm not even saying though you had a person just
okay,
drones, like.
Well, how far of distance does the radio control actually fly? That's the question.
How far do we fly regular drones?
No, I don't know. This is not.
I mean, they're flying them all over Iraq and Afghanistan. I mean, like anywhere.
Are they remote controlled from aircraft carriers? What I'm saying, like, do they have an aircraft carrier off the coast? And then
I thought it was done by satellite. See, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Let's find out.
We've got to be able to go massive distances. I mean, I assume if they're doing them in the Middle East and they're doing them from a submarine or a boat.
I don't know if they've launched them from maybe they launched them from aircraft carriers and they control. I don't know where they can control them from, but that's a good question. That's a good question.
And it's crazy. Like if you get fucking blasted on and you're in Iraq, and you're just like. You get blasted on from the sky. I mean, how is that not God?
Remember that movie Gods Must Be Crazy? Do you remember that? The soda pop bottle that fell on the African fourth world tribe that never seen glass in their entire life and they were worshiping it. Do you remember that?
What?
I remember seeing that.
It's called The Gods Must Be Crazy, and
I've seen that movie. Yeah. That's a great movie.
My dad loved that film, and I mean, this sounds racist now, but he used to laugh so hard that they called the black people fuzzies. My dad was Samoan though, so it's okay. You can laugh at that, right?
It was a really funny movie. Actually, it's like I actually think that I wonder if they'd ever re-release something like that today. Probably not, right?
But they had The Gods Must Be Crazy too, also.
Oh yeah. I saw that one. I think the first one's the better one though.
Isn't Obi-Wan Kenobi in that one?
I don't know. Actually, I don't remember.
The Gods Must Be Crazy Part 1 is
a long time ago, so I can't.
And he's also in the bridge. The bridge over Kauai, what is it? The road over the bridge?
Oh yeah, the bridge over River Kauai. I know that.
God damn it, Shaney, I like you.
Because I know all these obscure movies.
Yeah,
I saw the Gods Must Be Crazy. I don't think I ever saw the second one, but I saw the first one.
That the British called the black guys fuzzies. That's not really racist, but it's funny racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that racism that's sort of bewildering. Like what?
Like, if I was black, I wouldn't get mad that somebody called me a fuzzy. It's kind of like, that's like calling an Irish person freckly.
Or yeah, the frecklies, the oranges. Look at the oranges.
You know what? God damn it, man. So my mom's Irish, right? I'm on the television. I just see them. Was it a Lucky Charms commercial yesterday? Somebody, this leprechaun leapt onto the fucking screen, and that's okay, right? But if he was Mexican, right, that'd be all bad.
Well, think about that. I just to play on that premise, which is funny. They talk about the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Indians and stuff, but nobody cares that there's the Vikings who's got a white guy with on his helmet.
Wow. That's a great point, bro. I've never heard that brought up about.
Another one is also you got like you said, there's the Celtics, right? What's the logo on the Celtics? You got it's a Lucky Charms, the guy, right? You got him on the Celtics logo.
Dude, it's only funny to make like my mom got mad at me. I was watching stuff with her the other day, and I could tell she just thought I'm like toxic at this point because something happened, and I'm like, no, the only persons you can make fun of now are whites, or like Irish and Italian people are the only people that you can stereotype against in videos or in media. Is the drunk Irish or the gangster Italian.
But it's funny though, like the Irish have been fucked over for so long in their own country. Like they've been, they were pariahs and they were practically slaves. I mean, when they came across, early, they've been really messed up when they first crossed over.
For sure.
So like, and it's not like they've had an easy time of it historically, So it's weird, especially if you were Catholic Irish. It was even worse.
My mom, everybody's super Catholic Irish. And you know what? Actually, dude, Irish and Mexican, they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I could see that. Like,
like
the way they're treated.
Family drinking, work.
And the Portuguese.
Catholic and the Portuguese.
Well, actually, the Portuguese, people don't realize because nobody knows shit about the Portuguese, which is hilarious. It's just funny. Someone kept saying, "Oh, you know what? You should use Portuguese. You should do some stand-up comedy, making fun of Portuguese." I'd be like, no one will know what the fuck I'm talking about. They don't know anything about Portuguese people.
All I know is that there's some of them. They speak the same language in Brazil.
But yeah, the Brazilians speak Portuguese. Yeah, that's the.
My dad was Samoan and Hawaiian, and then we would have food, and part of the Hawaiian food that he would serve would be Portuguese sausage.
Well, the Portuguese probably discovered Hawaii for all we know, because Portugal was all over the place back.
Yeah, that's true.
So much shit they did. They just let a lot of even Portugal said we discovered Australia, but they found no gold, so they just left it for the British. Like screw that, there's nothing there. It's just like a desert. A lot of stuff. Even they discovered Canada. There's a lot of Portuguese crosses that are found in Nova Scotia. Because even they say the word Nova Scotia, which is funny because that's not an Italian word, that's a Portuguese word. The way you pronounce it is Nova Scotia. That's Portuguese. So it's like, why would it be called Nova Scotia if it's not an English word and it's not an Italian word. But it's definitely a Portuguese word. Anyway, they went all over the place, and then now we got all this. Now you look at it, in Portugal has this tiny little nothing land mass after discovering everything at the time back in the day. And so it's an interesting.
Some of the best music I've ever studied has Portuguese lyrics, and that was the bossa nova movement. All the bossa nova from the 60s and the 50s and 60s that took the world by storm was all in Portuguese. All those,
but that I think is Brazilian influence, though, not from Portugal. I think that's
what I mean is we're talking about our connections to.
You want to know Portuguese? Pull out the accordion and it's like polka music. That's what Portuguese music is. Okay. We call it fado in Portugal. But
hey guys, I just realized my computer's about to die.
All right,
okay.
My charge is out in the other room, so I think I'm just going to call it a night.
Yeah, it's late anyway. We should. It's getting pretty late here, guys.
So just really quickly before you go, you wanted to know. You guys were talking about the drones. So just so you know, that it says right here, it's over, apparently the military drones over 1,000 miles. So yeah, they probably do have to have some sort of aircraft carrier or some sort of
1,000 miles.
Sorry,
I'm wondering how far 1,000 miles is.
It's not very far. Like,
How many miles is America?
Yeah, that's not that far. You can fly across it. You know.
Yeah, 1,000 miles is like that's like what? That's like a 5-hour drive, right? Or a 10-hour drive?
I don't know.
Yeah, if you're driving 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I knew it had to be close. I'm pretty sure that they couldn't go that far. Otherwise, I mean, maybe they can, but we don't know. I wasn't sure though if they use satellites or not. That's the only thing to drive it. If there was satellites, right, guys? Because we don't know if they exist.
And you know what, though, too? That's what they're telling us, right? That's what they tell you it can go.
True enough. We don't know 100. Yeah, everything is what they tell us.
I believe that, though. 1,000 miles, okay.
Okay, well, so I was so it's about from California to New York. It's about what? We're looking at about 3,000 miles.
Okay, so we can go. These drones can go a third of America.
Yeah,
that's not that far. I mean, if you're talking about the expanse of the ocean, right?
Yeah, they probably have to have some sort of something close by to wherever they're shooting at.
Yeah, well, that's where the bases and thugs and everything, right? I'd find it hard to believe that there's a point on Earth other than maybe like near North Korea or something. That's my assumption, where we don't have a base or something, within 1,000 miles of something.
Well, I mean, that's why the aircraft carriers are still around. Is just they're practically little islands in the sea that they can, little hubs they can go around. I think Canada is like the only major nation that doesn't have an aircraft carrier.
You got America.
We have a fishing boat.
Yeah. You guys have a love boat.
Yeah, it's in the love boat, and it's run by Trudeau.
The Trudeau. Da, 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 the Trudeau.
Buy your ticket now and get free paint for blackface for your party.
Yeah, Arabian Nights with Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, no, it's silly. So you guys want to call it tonight right now? Or you want to get out?
Yeah, I'm starting to fade. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, I know. Me too. I'm like, my back is going.
It's okay. You know what I got on right now? Fanatics of Film is I got it on in the background is the Halloween Hootenanny.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Is it the one for Halloween the movie or
Halloween is the one Halloween 4 right now? So
nice. I can't remember. He does and they skip Halloween 3, right? So they go 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Yeah, they do 1 and 4 and 5.
Right.
But okay, guys. Yeah,
that makes me ask you, Shaney. Have you watched Friday the 13th yet?
Yes, I did. Yes, we did.
Oh no,
we thought it was outdated.
Well, I'm gonna get my clone to jump in.
We are infecting your mind, your television screen.
It's kind of crazy.
We are clone. We are Legion. We are Janie.
That's freaking out.
I'm waking up my clone to jump into the live chat. Hold for a sec.
We have conquered. You never thought this was possible, but you were wrong.
You should open the show like that, Shaney. You should open the show like that. Seriously.
Okay, Shaney.
Oh. It won't let me open it. Only 6 people at a time. So I have to eliminate Shaney.
All right.
Eliminate Shaney and sacrifice for a Saber.
I can leave, so I can sacrifice myself for another Saber.
We'll say goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.
Are you?
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for hanging out, Bert. It was good to hang out with you, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how you doing? DBS Cone. DBS Cone in the house.
Oh no.
Turn down your mic.
Good night. Quack, 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 quack.
Someone playing. All right, guys. So we'll talk to you all later. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to Fanatics of Film. Death by Saber.
Death by Saber. Yeah, don't be afraid of aliens, of being probed. No one's ever died from being probed.
That we know of.
No one's, everybody was returned sphincter intact.
All right. So next time, keep your eyes in the sky, and maybe we'll talk paranormal next week as well or something. Thank you guys in the chat. Black Eyed Cinephile, Snow Dub, Lance Uppercut,
Good night.
Merther Aliens, and all the rest. All right. See you later.
Good night.
Good night.